Good morning, babes. Okay, so yesterday I did in my Insta stories, all of the IGTVs, which are pulled from Facebook, all about MMP from May last round to this round. And it's so funny because it's always like, hey, babes. Good morning, babes. Good morning, babes. For the content's amazing. Also, you literally see my transformation. And when we talk about power and we talk about alignment, you physically, when I talk about the glow up, the unsexy to the sexy, it's literally an internal alignment job and it always is shown externally. And you can go check those out because it's literally mind blowing. What I wanted to talk about is, first of all, MMP opened its doors today. There is 3 days of pre-work, you guys, 3 days, and then live. Oh, hello, Team Aligned by Design. And then live on Monday is our very first call. So Monday, our very first call. Hello, Anna from Ireland. Amazing. So if you guys still want to hop in, there's still time. You have quite a bit of time to catch up on the things that are going to be dropped over the next couple days that are really activating and super potent. And then our call on Monday. All right, so what I wanted to talk about is, especially for sacral, is the idea and concept of urgency versus FOMO. Because you guys have FOMO, you always do. It's the fear of missing out, right? You have this like, ooh, what am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? You have a lot of shame around buying out of the shiny object syndrome, right? You're like, ooh, I just need to be there because it's cool, because it's popular, because all of the other people. You're activated by the energy versus learning how to be activated and trust the urgency that's inside of you. So when we really tap into the sacral and understand the sacral desires, there's an urgency that comes forward with it, right? It's like, I need to be there now because I desire to be there now, because I want this, because it's for me, because I'm like responding to exactly what is in complete alignment for me. When you're operating out of FOMO or shiny object syndrome, it's the hype around everyone else and everything else and all of the other energies that you're getting more activated by, but it's not truly a desire. And that's where a lot of your shame and guilt and like, why do I buy all of the things and all of the places and have to be here and there and da 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 da. And that's where the mistrust in your sacral is really developed and built from. So when we're understanding the sacral, this is so you were speaking about this today. Oh, amazing. Thank you for taking her. When you are understanding urgency is okay. Urgency is okay. It is okay to trust an urgent feeling, to act urgently, to act impulsively, to act in a moment, because your sacral is really leading you to that place. What you want to have awareness of, you can see my beautiful shadows behind me. It's so pretty, the sunlight right now. What you really want to be aware of is tapping into desire based, and really distinguishing and identifying the difference between urgency of desire and pure sacral activation versus hype, FOMO, shiny object syndrome. When we're looking at and understanding the sacral being lit up by the sacral being lit up by FOMO and shiny object syndrome, what you're looking at is all the people around me, they're doing it, they're doing it, they're doing it. Oh my gosh, I need to be here. What am I going to miss? I have an expectation. When you start to have an expectation on a result, when you start to think that this is going to be you have to get it, because if you don't, you're going to fail at life. Your business is going to plummet and tank if you don't get it, right? When all of a sudden this pressure is built up around the sacral activation, it is not correct for you. When you really trust your sacral, you're always leading from a place of desire. You're always leading from a very light place, a very fun, a very playful, a very yes place. No matter what the outcome is, you knew you were meant to be there because that's where you were pulled, and it was a desirable standpoint. It was, I want this, I'm excited for this, I'm ready for this, this is a full body yes, there's no doubts around it. And like I said, it takes a while to actually learn how to trust those decisions because of all of the incorrect ones you made from FOMO. That you made from, and sometimes FOMO will get you like a really incredible activation and you're actually meant to be there and you're like, I'm so freaking thankful I'm there. I'm so glad I listened to myself. But what you're really acting on is the urgency but you're doing it late, right? You've kind of sat on it for a couple days, right? You're like, oh, I know I need to do this. I know this is urgent. I know this is right for me, but I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hope that this passes. And then it just never passes. So when I say FOMO, you still may have FOMO acting from the most aligned, correct place of your sacral of urgency. It just may take you a while to get to that trusting place. What we want to really activate in you, and what we're going to be talking about and tapping into big time in MMP, is really trusting the sacral desire and leading you to where you're needing to be and meant to be, without needing to know the how. So trusting this urgent reaction, trusting the urgency of where you're pulled, what comes into your sphere, what you're responding to is completely correct and aligned for you in that moment, and moving on it instantly, and not holding back and not overthinking and not playing out of doubt, not trusting yourself and not letting fear lead the way. It's like leading with love all the time, leading with desire all the time. And when we get really clear about your desires and how powerful you are to cultivate the energy that becomes extremely magnetizing to other people, it's always led from a place of desire. If you are in a place of doubt, fear, lack, scarcity, you're never cultivating the magnetism because you're not aligned. You're not leading anything in your world and life out of a place of pleasure, enjoyment, and desire. It's never out of urgency. It's always out of doubt, fear, expectation, needingness, and all of that feels and sounds so wrong, you know? You're leading from a place of power. So when we talk about money, magnetism, sex, and power, it's activated from the urgency of your sacral, leading with desire and responding to desire, trusting yourself enough, having enough power, knowing that you're being pulled to somewhere for a specific reason, and you're going to find out why, and you're in for the adventure, you're in for the journey, you're in for the process, you're in for the unfolding, and that's the exciting part about it, right? You're never meant to be able to like have a path in life that is clearly laid out and completely predictable. Like, that's so boring. So these activations of urgency are a calling for you. It's like, hello, are you listening? God is dropping something on your path. You urgently need to get in there. You urgently need to do the thing. You urgently need to move. You urgently need to redecorate your place. Whatever it is for you, you have to trust that that is there for a reason, and you have to step into it. You have to trust it, because when you do, you instantly create this magnetism around you. You know, when a lot of people in marketing use these, my problem is trusting myself even though I know I'm supposed to do it, but there's so much fear. And you want to dive into those fears, right? What are the fears? Because the fears are only coming from the conditioning of all of the misalignment, the lack of alignment throughout your life, the conditioning that has been placed on you to act a different way. And now you're kind of bridging these gaps between, oh, what society has told me to do, what I've been conditioned to do, versus what I know I internally trust in myself. And we always want to start building the trust from internally believing and trusting in yourself, rather than pleasing, appeasing, settling, fitting a box of somebody else, right? It's never going to lead you to where, so you're only creating more frustration as you still continue to play in fear. It's also interesting, totally. And what was I saying? I forget. Oh, the marketing piece. When we are marketing, when you hear people marketing and they're like, when you make an investment, you just step into a whole new realm of power and it activates this magnetism, and like you have to do what you want other people to do. Yes, it's true, but it's only coming from a place of true desire. And why that happens, the science behind why that happens, is because your energy field becomes so fulfilled, so happy, so pleased, so lit up, so turned on, that your aura becomes so much bigger and brighter and undeniable to be like, people can't turn away from that, right? So when it comes from a place of urgency, that you really did make that purchase, you really did do the thing out of true urgent desire, of course you become more magnetizing. Of course you suddenly feel like you're empowered in your power and on your path. And of course people feel pulled to you. Yes, it's not because you spent a lump sum of money. It's because you acted from a place of urgent desire. That's the difference. That's the science behind it. And then your aura becomes so much more open. So you guys, if you are still like urgently, like, I freaking know I should be an MMP. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous that I'm not in there yet. You guys head on over, hop in. We still have like few more days that you, 5 more days that you could be joining, because we do our first very live call on Monday. You also get access to the whole program for 30 days after our final call. and support in between if you're not able to be there on the call, so the questions that you have are going to be answered. I love you so much. I cannot wait for this transformation. I can't wait for all this sacral freaking yes is on to be in the web, on the web, and the web, here on earth, on the online space, and activate it. I love it. Bye, guys.